As dementia progresses, a person's ability and a person's judgment diminishes, placing them potentially in a dangerous place. In this play, this is elevated to the nth degree. This play is a topsy-turvy account of dementia. It takes an upside-down world to begin with, which is dementia, and it spins it out of control. For example, wandering occurs as dementia progresses. And because of the danger of this, one is smart to disguise the door, possibly by covering it, and by all means necessary, discourage the person with dementia from leaving. And what do we see here in this play? When Lear experiences the urge to leave, his son-in-law speaks. "'Tis best to give him way. He leads himself." His daughter speaks. "Entreat him by no means to stay, and shut up the doors," essentially locking him out. What makes this the most topsy-turvy account of dementia is that you are not dealing with just the one person with dementia, but 100 other followers, knights. Common to dementia, and here in this case, is that the person becomes mean and aggressive. It is very important to remain safe. For this reason, one is to remove or lock away all weapons. How can this be done in this case? His daughter speaks of this. 100 knights? 'Tis politic and safe to let him keep at point 100 knights. Yes, that on every dream, each buzz, each fancy, each complaint, dislike, he may enguard his dotage with their powers and hold our lives in mercy. Let me take away the harms I fear, not fear still to be taken. In this disease, there are sad but inevitable boundary lines. And none of us are prepared or trained for these situations. But 100 nights, this is totally outrageous. And what makes this so difficult is that people with dementia do not see themselves as having problems. They genuinely do not understand when they need to do something. They do not realize that they need help. And this leads to agitation. Lear does not see that, as his daughter describes, his men are so disordered, so debauched and bold, that this our court, infected with their manners, shows like a riotous inn. Epicurism and lust make it more like a tavern or a brothel than a graced palace. But Lear, with his dementia, doesn't even see this. And people with dementia become disinhibited and lose sight of what is proper or improper. It is common with dementia that the person becomes sexually inappropriate. People with dementia have a hard time understanding. They are very resistant to help, very hard to handle. And so what do we get here in this play concerning the riotous knights? My train are men of choice and rarest parts, that all particulars of duty know, and in the most exact regard support the worships of their name. People with dementia have a hard time interpreting their surroundings. And this leads us up to the most crazy of all, Act 3. Dementia affects the region of the brain that are responsible for interpreting sights and sounds. Hallucinations commonly involve seeing or hearing things that aren't there, as Lear does in Act 3. And because of this transformation of ordinary, everyday experiences into frightening episodes, people with dementia are to be in a calm, safe room, a peaceful sleeping environment, meaning that there should be an elimination of all shadows. Open curtains should be drawn. Mirrors should be covered. They need a calm environment, and especially free of loud noises and disruptions. And what does poor King Lear get? At the beginning of Act 3, it is night, and where is the king? Contending with the fretful elements. He's out in a storm. Instead of preventing confusion and agitation, all is being done in this play to make his disease even worse. But there is hope. Caring for a person with dementia takes effort and creative problem solving. And this is precisely what we see from Kent in Act 3. And by the end of Act 3, we see that Cordelia is now on the scene, a daughter whose virtues are such that with Kent, much will be done to save this poor old man.